Do you ever feel like your training left some gaps that real world practice is now exposing? Or are you looking to move into a specialty that you know is procedure heavy and you want to brush up on your skills? Or maybe you just aren't that confident in the procedures that you do. Well, if any of these pertain to you, then I may have a great solution for you. Hi, it's Michelle with the Medicine Couch, and today I am bringing you a review of the Providers Practice Essentials 2-day Skills and Procedures course. My hope is that when I do these reviews, you will be able to determine whether a course or a conference is right for you and whether it is worth the money. Now, I try to be really transparent. I did not pay for this course. Provider Practice Essentials let me attend for free. But I told them up front that if I didn't think that this was a course that was worth it for you, that I wasn't going to review it and present it to you. So since you're watching this video, you know that I think it's pretty good. On top of that, I'm also grateful to tell you that I was able to arrange a discount code for my viewers. Down below in the description box, there'll be a link to the course so you can get more information, and the discount code will be down there. And in continued transparency, if you use the discount code, I will receive a small commission. Now, this 2-day procedure and skills course, there's lecture component to it, and there's also the great hands-on components. And those together should give you pretty good confidence in your ability to do these procedures and close some of those gaps that you may have noticed. And this course is great whether you're a PA, an NP, or an MD. Now, if you're considering a procedures course, you may have already looked around and realized that they come in a wide range of prices. And I'm going to be honest, this one is up on the higher end of that scale, but I think that it really provides a lot of value and gives you things that some of the other courses don't. But just remember, as we're going through all this, that with the price of this course, you get 23 Category 1 CME credits, and that's just for the 2-day course. You get even more if you pair it with one of their 1-day specialty courses, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And you also get some other resources and different things that I didn't get at other conferences, and we'll go through that. So all of that stuff together, I think, really helps to justify the price of this course. And one of the standout features is just the broad scope of the different topics that they bring to you. I've been to a couple other procedures courses, and they focus pretty much just on the basics and didn't really get into any other kind of advanced procedures. In fact, in doing a search, sometimes it's hard to find courses that bring you those advanced procedures, but this has it all, from fundamental procedures on up to more advanced procedures. So the curriculum for the basic 2-day procedure and skills course can be broken down this way. Under the skin procedures, you're going to be covering suturing, stapling, wound glue, punch biopsies, toenail removal, ring removal, and other foreign body removal, and doing incision and drainage. You're going to learn orthopedic skills like joint injections, as well as splinting and casting. And then emergency medicine procedures, they have needle decompression, chest tube placement, lumbar puncture, and central line insertion. They also cover other advanced skills such as paracentesis, thoracentesis, and arterial line placement. I particularly loved the lecture portion of radiology. It's not only the review of how you approach the x-rays, but they put up a bunch of different examples, and somebody who was very knowledgeable in reading them walked you through like exactly what it is that they're looking for and pointing out different things on the x-ray that you might have missed or that you might not understand how important it is. I found that very helpful, and I love that you have somebody doing that live in front of you so you can stop and ask questions and get clarification. Now, they also do the same thing with EKGs. Of course, you have to understand this is a 2-day course and it is packed with a lot of things. So it's not like a complete course from beginning to end on how to read and interpret x-rays and EKGs. But if you have some fundamental knowledge, it will absolutely build on that. Another key aspect of the curriculum that I like is kind of the flexibility. Whether you're a novice or somebody that does these procedures fairly regularly, the instructors do a good job of figuring out kind of the level that everybody is at and teaching to those different levels. They are very open for you to ask questions, And if you want to dig into something a little deeper on a topic, that is perfectly fine. You're able to do that. So whether you're in primary care, emergency medicine, urgent care, hospital medicine, and even some other specialties like maybe Med and things, I can see this course being very useful for you. And I think will definitely get you more confident in your skills and in the procedures. The course is primarily led by an MD, so you have that extra layer of knowledge and experience. But there are also PAs and NPs there that are giving parts of the lectures and that are helping to run the different procedure stations. And so that is something a little bit unique to this course as opposed to other ones I've taken, that there wasn't just one instructor, they had several people there. But no matter who was doing the teaching, I thought that all of the instruction was excellent, that all of the instructors were very knowledgeable. So let's talk about those add-on courses. As I mentioned, this is a 2-day skills course. You can take just that. But on select days, they also pair that course with a third day that you can choose to add on or not. The specialty 1-day courses that they have are going to be Advanced Airway, Ultrasound, and Advanced Suturing. I think that these are all courses that are very needed. And I'm sure based on the one that I attended that they're all top level. But I want to talk about the advanced suturing course because I think that this is pretty unique. I didn't take the advanced suturing course. I took the advanced airway, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But when I've looked around looking for courses and I see advanced suturing courses, normally, there are courses that just go more in depth on the different kinds of suturing you can do, like the different mattress sutures, how to suture dog ears or difficult lacerations, how to do buried sutures and buried knots, and also how to do like multi-layer closure. Those are all important, and this advanced suturing course here covers those. But in addition to that, they also teach you on how to do what I call the scary sutures, which would be suturing on the face, particularly the eyebrow, the eyelid, around the nose, on the mouth, going across the vermilion border, suturing the tongue, the ears, and nail bed injuries. And then also anesthetize them or put in a block so that you can actually do the suturing there. And just look at this suture pad that you get to practice on. That is amazing. And I have not seen any other courses offer that. So if you work in especially like urgent care and emergency medicine, I would so be taking that advanced suturing course because I bet you would come away with a far deeper level of comfort whenever those things walk into your ER or your urgent care. And like I said, the course that I was able to attend had the Advanced Airway course attached. And that course was actually led by Dr. Beatty, who is the physician who owns Provider Practice Essentials. Now, I don't do intubations, so I'm not reviewing that from an expert level lens, but I have attended Advanced Airway courses before and, have some knowledge. And I can tell you that the information that he delivered was far in depth of what I had encountered before. And then when we did the hands-on practice, they were of course on mannequins, but I loved that they had both the Mac and the Miller blades there, and they had stylets and glide scopes so that you could practice using a variety of the different instruments. They also had several different stations so that we all had plenty of time to practice with the different instruments multiple times. And the reason that you're able to have so much time is that Provider Practice Essentials limits their class size. That's part of also why the course is a little bit more expensive than others. So you're not going to end up in a huge course where you're not going to have time to practice and where you're going to be fighting other people to get to the practice stations. You really get more individualized attention at the practice stations. You get more opportunities to repetitively practice the procedure, and it's just a more relaxed environment. Another thing that sets this course apart is some of the resources that you get with it. These are what I mentioned earlier. When you register, you will automatically get access for 1 year to their online toolkit. Well, this toolkit is packed with information, and I think it is an incredible resource. And I think that helps justify the price of this course. Almost everything in the toolkit comes with purchase of a course, but there are a few things that have to be purchased separately, and I'll talk about those as we go along. Now, let me give you a little quick tour of the toolkit here. First of all, along the top, these tabs come with any course purchase. The decision tools are going to have decision trees and different charts for quick reference, and then a little bit more in-depth information if you scroll down through it. Next is the curbside consults. These are going to be quick videos on different miscellaneous topics. Then the radiology guide is really cool. Here are the ortho guides, and it's going to tell you the indication and then what tests are preferred and what to order with or without contrast. But in addition to the ortho guide, they also have imaging guide for different systems. So look at the GI system here. They'll have the indications, what's going on with your patient, and then they'll tell you which studies are preferred. Next is pharmacology. First, they're going to have some medications broken out by different groups, or you can just find the medication you're looking for alphabetically. You click on it, you're going to get this quick chart here, and then some more in-depth dosing information. Next is procedures. And this again, quick reference. We're going to look at splinting here. Just if you quickly need to remember what the hand position is and what the splints look like. And then they've got an article here on statistics and then a job board. This section, the system-based resources, is packed with information. Let's take a look here in the critical care, and we'll just pick hemodynamic responses to shock as an example. They have several charts here on differentiating the different types of shock and then shock management, more charts, and then in-depth information, everything you need to know specifically for practice. Next up are the live workshops. Obviously, you only have access to whatever course you purchased. I went to the 3-day course, so let's look at this content here. And these will be the playbacks that you get for a year. All of the different lectures that they covered during the course, including the actual suture course, so you can work through the sutures later. And then here is the information for the airway course that I also attended. And you can see all of the lectures that you get to review. This is great to have as a resource for a year. As you start putting this into practice and questions come up, you can go back and refer to it. Next up are the professional development packages. Now, if you wanted to go to work, say, in emergency medicine or urgent care, this is a course that you can take. This is a separate purchase. Now, here are all of the core module lectures that you can get. As you can see, this is a ton of information, and they cover most all of the things that you're going to see in emergency medicine or urgent care. Next are these online packages. This is in case you can't go to the course in person, you can purchase them online. This is, of course, a separate purchase. And then the articles and current topics and come with any course purchase. This can be a great reference for you to quickly look up something while you're in practice or to go back to and learn from if you're doing some studying. So I love that you pay for this course, but it's not just the 2 or 3 days that you're taking the course. You get access to information where you can continue to learn for a whole year at that one price. Now, some of the other things that I mentioned that you get with this course that I didn't really get at other courses is that when you arrive, there will be a really nice tote bag here for you. In the tote bag, you're going to get this companion workbook for the course. In the workbook, you're going to have all of the slides that are going to be presented. They are printed out in full color with lots of room here for you to take notes. Also in the tote bag, you're going to find this suturing kit. The suture kit is going to come with this simulation pad, and it's also going to have the instruments and suture material that you'll be using. They also provide beverages throughout the day, like coffee, water, sodas, and they provided a boxed lunch every day, which was really nice because then you didn't have to worry about getting in your car, going to find some place to eat, and paying for that separately. It was all included. So are there cheaper procedure courses out there that are perfectly good and that are going to give you some good training? Definitely. There definitely are. But like I said earlier, honestly, I haven't seen many, if any, live in-person events that cover this many different procedures and do it with a very high quality and a very knowledgeable multi-person staff there at the course. Now, I'd love to hear from you. If you're watching this and you have gone to any of the Provider Practice Essentials courses, let us know what you thought about it. Put that down below in the comment section. And don't forget to check out the description box to get the link and also the discount code so you can save some money if you're going to register. And if you'd like to see reviews of different CME courses, I have several other ones on my channel, and you can check them out here. And remember, everything that I recommend on my channel, I have checked out to verify that it is good and worth your money. Thanks for joining me today, and as always, take care, stay sane, and I'll see you next time on the Medicine Couch. Bye.